Hello everyone, welcome to today's class. Today is the second session of this chapter, excess demand and deficit demand. And in today's class, we'll be discussing the meaning of deficit demand, how deflationary gap is created, what are the reasons behind creation of deficit demand, and what is the impact of deficit demand. So let's understand what is the meaning of deficit demand. Deficient demand refers to a situation when aggregate demand is less than the aggregate supply corresponding to full employment level of output in the economy. Now see, the full employment level of the economy is reached at a point E. Now, why this is a full employment equilibrium? Because at this point, the aggregate supply, that is your total income, 45-degree line, is intersected by the aggregate demand curve, which is nothing but C plus I. So this is the equilibrium full employment level. That is, here whatever is produced, fine, it is being consumed, or the aggregate demand is just exactly equal to the whatever is supplied by the producer, that is aggregate supply. Now if the aggregate demand is less than the aggregate supply, that means we are at point or we are at aggregate demand curve 1, the dotted line, it is less than the aggregate demand which is at full employment level. So there is going to be a deficit demand, reason being that this demand is less than the demand which is there at full employment level. And the reason for the fall in the aggregate demand is your fall in the investment expenditure. We'll see in the succeeding slides. This result into creation of deflationary gap. It's a gap by which actual aggregate demand falls short of aggregate demand required to establish full employment level. So see, the aggregate demand curve 1, it is intersecting the aggregate supply at F. So if you see that your aggregate demand will fall short of the aggregate demand which was there at full employment level, and the gap is being created. आप देखिए जो एम्प्लॉयमेंट लेवल था, फुल एम्प्लॉयमेंट लेवल, वो कितना था, OM, फाइन. लेकिन जब एग्रीगेट डिमांड कम हो गई and it has reached the level of AD1, so here this aggregate demand falls short of the required aggregate demand, and the gap which is created is represented by EG. फाइन, ये जो गैप क्रिएट हुआ EG, this is the deflationary gap. Aggregate demand and aggregate supply intersects at point E, which indicates full employment equilibrium. Due to decrease in investment expenditure, that is your autonomous investment, aggregate demand falls from AD to AD1. You can see this. It denotes a situation of deficit demand, and the gap between them, that is EG, is a deflationary gap. Point F indicates अंडर एम्प्लॉयमेंट इक्विलिब्रियम. इक्विलिब्रियम तो स्टैब्लिश हुआ बेटा, क्योंकि यहाँ पर इस पॉइंट पे आके एग्रीगेट डिमांड और एग्रीगेट सप्लाई इंटरसेक्ट कर गए, तो इक्विलिब्रियम तो स्टैब्लिश हुआ एट पॉइंट एफ. लेकिन ये इक्विलिब्रियम फुल एम्प्लॉयमेंट इक्विलिब्रियम नहीं है, क्योंकि यहाँ पर अभी भी कई सारे रिसोर्सेस unemployed हैं. So this equilibrium point F is underemployment equilibrium. It leads to underemployment equilibrium. It is in this situation that there exists involuntary unemployment. यानी कि आप voluntarily unemployed नहीं हो. It's an involuntary unemployment. Now, reasons for deficit demand are, first is decrease in propensity to consume. Now, if we recall, propensity to consume क्या होता है? Change in consumption expenditure because of change in income. Fine. So a decrease in consumption expenditure due to fall in propensity to consume leads to deficit demand in the economy. मतलब अगर आपका जो marginal जो propensity to consume है, अगर वो decrease हो जाती है, यानी कि change in consumption expenditure it falls because of change in income. If it falls, तो आपकी spent aggregate demand कम हो जाएगी. रीजन कि हमारा डिमांड जो है, कंजम्पशन की डिमांड, सी कंजम्पशन इज अ कंपोनेंट ऑफ एग्रीगेट डिमांड. अगर कंजम्पशन डिक्रीज हो गई तो एग्रीगेट डिमांड अपने आप ही फॉल हो जाएगी. इट विल बी लेस देन दी फुल एम्प्लॉयमेंट लेवल. द सेकेंड रीजन फॉर डेफिसिट डिमांड इज इंक्रीज इन टैक्सेस. ठीक है बेटा, आप और मैं, हम दोनों इंडिविजुअल हाउस होल्ड है एंड ऑन आर इनकम वी पे टैक्सेस. अब गवर्नमेंट अगर हमारी इंडिविजुअल इनकम पे टैक्सेस इंक्रीज कर देती है तो हमारे पास जो डिस्पोजेबल इनकम होती है स्पेंड करने के लिए इकोनॉमी में ऑन कंजम्पशन एक्सपेंडिचर, इट विल फॉल. सो एग्रीगेट, इफ देयर इज इंक्रीज इन taxes, aggregate demand may also fall due to imposition of higher taxes. It leads to decrease in disposable income. अब मेरे पास इनकम होगी नहीं स्पेंड करने के लिए, एंड एज अ रिजल्ट इकोनॉमी सफर्स फ्रॉम डेफिसिट डिमांड. डिमांड वुड बी लेस. The next reason for deficit demand is your decrease in government expenditure. Now, we have learned that aggregate demand के जो components हैं, that is your C, that is private consumption expenditure, I, that is your investment expenditure by producers, G, government expenditure, both consumption and investment by the government, and your net exports. तो बेटा अगर हमारा government expenditure decrease हो गया, ठीक है, that is one of the component of aggregate demand is decreased, so definitely aggregate demand will fall short of your aggregate demand at full employment level. So when government reduces its demand for goods and services due to fall in public expenditure, it leads to deficit demand. Another reason for deficit demand is your fall in investment expenditure. Increase in rate of interest or fall in expected return leads to decrease in investment expenditure. देखिए, अगर हमारी इकोनॉमी में रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट राइज हो जाएगा, nobody will go for लोन्स फॉर इन्वेस्टमेंट पर्पस. तो अगर मेरा रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट इंक्रीज हो जाता है तो मेरा जो इन्वेस्टमेंट्स है दे विल फॉल. And if the investors, they are expecting that there is going to be a fall in expected returns, then also the investment expenditure will reduce in the economy. And since I, investment expenditure, is a component of aggregate demand, अगर I reduce होगा तो aggregate demand भी reduce हो जाएगी. So it reduces the aggregate demand and give rise to deficit demand. Next reason for your deficit demand is your rise in imports and fall in exports. Now, rise in imports when international prices are comparatively less than the domestic prices, matlab imports are cheaper, then it may lead to rise in imports, implying a cut in the aggregate demand. यानी कि हमारे domestic goods की जो demand है वो कम हो जाती है और जो हम गुड्स इंपोर्ट करते हैं उनकी डिमांड ज्यादा हो जाती है. रीजन के जो इंपोर्ट्स हैं दे आर रिलेटिवली चीपर. तो अगर मेरी इंपोर्ट्स राइज हो जाएंगे तो मेरी एग्रीगेट डिमांड फॉर डोमेस्टिक प्रोडक्ट्स विल फॉल. दिस विल लीड टू डेफिसिट डिमांड. फॉल इन एक्सपोर्ट्स, exports may fall due to comparatively higher prices of domestic goods or due to increase in exchange rate for domestic currency. And both of the reasons, that is rise in import and fall in export, is going to lead to deficit demand. अब आप देखिए अगर मेरे export कम हो गए, फाइन। और एक्सपोर्ट को कम होने का रीजन क्या होगा कि मेरे जो डोमेस्टिक गुड्स हैं इंटरनेशनल मार्केट में कॉस्टली हैं, तो मेरे एक्सपोर्ट कम हो जाएंगे। पीपल इन द इंटरनेशनल मार्केट विल नॉट डिमांड माय गुड्स बिकॉज दे आर रिलेटिवली हायर प्राइस्ड, फाइन। या मेरा जो एक्सचेंज रेट है डोमेस्टिक करेंसी का वो इंक्रीज हो गया, तो दोनों ही सिचुएशन में मेरा एक्सपोर्ट विल फॉल। और अगर मेरा एक्सपोर्ट फॉल हो रहा है दैट मीन्स मेरा एग्रीगेट डिमांड कम हो जाएगा, बिकॉज नेट एक्सपोर्ट, अगेन import minus export is also one of the component of aggregate demand. I hope the reasons, all the reasons, the 6 reasons were there, they are clear to all of you. Now let's come to the effect of deficit demand on output. अब आप देखिए बेटा, deficit demand का effect output पे क्या पड़ेगा? Due to lack of sufficient aggregate demand, हमारी aggregate demand is less than the aggregate demand at full employment level, there will be increase in inventory of stock. तो definitely demand कम है, सप्लाई ज्यादा है फुल एम्प्लॉयमेंट लेवल पे, तो दैट विल रिजल्ट इनटू पाइलिंग अप ऑफ इन्वेंट्री ऑफ स्टॉक इन द वेयरहाउस. इट विल फोर्स द फर्म टू प्लान फॉर लेसर प्रोडक्शन फॉर सब्सिक्वेंट पीरियड. तो अगर मेरे पास ऑलरेडी इन्वेंट्री ऑफ स्टॉक पड़ा हुआ है तो फर्म क्या करेंगे, अपने प्रोडक्शन को कम कर देंगे. the output will be less, the income generated will be less, and definitely आपके employment पे भी इसका effect पड़ेगा. So as a result planned output will fall. The second effect of the deficit demand on employment will be that it is going to cause involuntary unemployment in the economy due to fall in the planned output. बेटा जब आपका planned output will fall, reason being कि already हमारे पास inventory of stock हमारे वेयर हाउस में है, फाइन. तो प्रोड्यूसर्स क्या करेंगे, दे विल प्लान लेस आउटपुट इन द नेक्स्ट फेज. सो फॉर दैट देयर विल बी unemployment, and that too will be involuntary, means people are willing to work but they are not getting work. Reason being कि हमारे पास already stock goods का available है, aggregate demand कम है than the full employment level. So the in the next phase your income will fall, your employment level will also fall. The effect of deficit demand on general price level will be, deficit demand causes the general prices to fall due to lack of demand for goods and services in the economy. See, it's same. आपका डिमांड कम है, सप्लाई ज्यादा है. अगर डिमांड कम होती है, सप्लाई ज्यादा होती है, तो आपके जो प्राइजेस होते हैं दैट विल फॉल, फाइन. तो इन ऑर्डर टू क्लियर द स्टॉक, what the producers will do, the prices will fall and the resultant would be that your price level in the economy, it's just the opposite of inflation, it will result into deflation, fine. I hope that the effect of deficit demand on output, employment and general price level is clear to all of you. Let's proceed towards the difference between excess demand and deficit demand. Now here is a table which is showing the distinction between excess demand and deficit demand. Now the first distinction is on the basis of meaning. Excess demand refers to a situation when aggregate demand is more than aggregate supply corresponding to full employment level in the economy. Deficit demand refers to a situation when aggregate demand is less than the aggregate supply corresponding to full employment level in the economy. Excess demand is going to lead to creation of inflationary gap, we saw in the last video, and deficit demand is going to lead to creation of deflationary gap. We saw the deflationary gap in the previous slides. Now equilibrium level, Excess demand indicates over full employment equilibrium. The equilibrium is been established at the point above the full employment level in case of excess demand, where in case of deficit demand, the deficit demand indicates underemployment equilibrium and it results into involuntary unemployment. Now, the reason for your excess demand is that it occurs due to excess of anticipated expenditure, that is due to rise in consumption expenditure, investment expenditure, etc. Whereas deficit demand occurs due to shortage of anticipated expenditure, that is due to fall in consumption expenditure and investment expenditure, etc. See, we saw that all the components of aggregate demand, that is your consumption expenditure, investment expenditure, government expenditure, even net exports, they are falling in case of deficit demand and they were increasing in case of excess demand. Now, the second last point of distinction between excess demand and deficit demand is impact on output and employment. Excess demand does not affect the output and employment as the economy is already operating at full employment level. Whereas in case of deficit demand, it leads to fall in output and employment due to shortage of aggregate demand, because already stocks are being piled up in the inventory. So in order to again reach at the full employment level, the producers will stop the production. There will be a fall in the output, and if there is fall in output, there will be a fall in the employment level in the economy too. Last point of distinction is impact on prices. Now, impact on prices in case of excess demand, it leads to inflation. Inflation means your rise in journal price level. And in case of deficit demand, it leads to deflation, that is, it results in fall in general price level. So, excess demand is going to create inflation or inflationary gap, and deficit demand is going to create deflation or deflationary gap. I hope that the distinction between excess demand and deficit demand is clear to all of you. If you have any query, you can post the query on the WhatsApp number given at the end of the slide. That's all for today from my side. Hope you have enjoyed the session. Thank you very much.